Hi everyone, Nikolai here with you at FMLS 10th anniversary, day one in London. I'm joined today by Gavin White, who's the CEO of Invast Global. Gavin, welcome, thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much, Nick, it's nice to be here.
Likewise. So this is the 10th anniversary of this event. I think it means a lot to all of us in the industry. Kind of, what are your thoughts going into day one?
I'm surprised how vibrant it is. We've had a lot of time with COVID not being able to mingle. It is back to its best from what I can see. And as we were discussing earlier, this event has been going for 10 years. It's been central to the industry for 10 years. And it is great to see it back and better than ever.
So right off the bat, the news is Invast Global is entering the UK market with the acquisition of GMOZ. Last year, you had opened an office in Cyprus. What's the drive to be physically present in the UK?
We've been in the UK present but not permanently present for quite a while. So we've got a lot of clients in the UK, a lot of broker-dealer clients, hedge fund clients and the like. We now want to have permanent staff in London to look after those clients. And in order to be permanently in London and dealing with our clients and serving our clients, we needed to be licensed. So we were lucky enough, we'd been searching for a long time for an acquisition target, and we were lucky enough to come across the acquisition that we made. As I've said previously, it's because of coming to events like this and because of portals like yours as well that information flow through our ecosystem allows for people to get to know each other and to do deals like this out of the blue. It was something that, like I said, we've worked on for a while, but it really was only possible because of the personal relationships we had.
That's great. And if I may follow up, myself and James Alexander recently had a conversation, and he explained sort of some of the company culture in the different offices around the world. I'm assuming the UK office is going to get a fair share of the diversity and inclusiveness and everything else. Maybe you can say a few words about that? Yeah,
look, absolutely. It's not just words. These are real values that we have and real passions that we have. We are very inclusive. We're very egalitarian. We want the best for everyone. We want to provide a supportive environment for people in their workplace. So the environment in the UK office will no doubt be exactly like we have throughout. 60% of our staff are under 28, so we are very much a young and vibrant sort of company. And I think that it is very well known that demographic have grown up to be much more, much more equality based, much more deep values, deep social values, and I think that's why we're attracting those sort of people.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely agree with you on that one. Listen, so per the BIS triennial survey, there was actually a shift in derivatives trading from the UK to the European Union, most likely because of Brexit. Do you think that, quote unquote, the city can maintain sort of its influence on the financial industry, or are we sort of moving away?
I don't think we're moving away. No, I think that the talent and the technology and the future of the industry, both in the higher level investment banking, institutional, hedge fund space, and right through the layers of the industry, London is important and will always be important. The people, the staff are available here. A lot of them want to live here in this environment. So London will always be important, but Europe has become more important in certain pockets. Obviously, Cyprus has become an extremely important environment for the broker-dealer industry. I don't think any of it is really going to change. I think where the dust seems to be settling is, apart from what the BIS survey has said, I think London is as important as it's always been. And our ambitions here are proof that we believe that. We want to attract the smartest people. We want to provide the most exciting environment, most supportive environment. The smartest people in areas of quant and mathematics and data analysis, a lot of them are in London. A lot of them are wanting to stay in London. So that's why we want to be here.
Great, awesome. Invast actually recently upgraded your core trading systems, your infrastructure and aggregation engines. You actually replaced several vendors that you used before with 1.0. Can you tell us a little bit more what that means for you as a company and ultimately for your customers?
Yeah, I think what we decided was that we were at risk of spreading ourselves too thin by trying to be everything to everyone and all vendors. So we made a decision. We spent a lot of time and a lot of effort, I have to say, it's a big effort, to analyse the platforms. Some of them are very simple in their commercials. Some of them, and 10 was one of the most complicated in terms of their commercial proposal. But I'm glad we stuck with it, because it ended up being exactly what we needed. And what we've done is, as you say, we've simplified everything. We have everything on the one platform. But what we've also done is made it much more stable. We've got full redundancies, both in terms of server redundancies, geolocation redundancies, and data redundancies. So that's been the main reason. 10 was the best at providing that full redundancy and security aspect. They also have a lot of putting a lot of effort in themselves into improving their product, and one of the best things I think they've released most recently to brokers is the analysis of execution that they've provided. I think that they're ahead of the field in that 10, and I think that we like that. We want our broker clients to know. We want them to have the ability to analyse and see us against our competitors. So that was another strong reason why we chose 10, because it's much more readily available for our clients to check us and see how we are performing against our competitors. And that's what we want.
Well, I think, 10 are close friends of ours, Andrew as well. I think you'll be confident in their services going forward. This is actually a good segue into one of the questions that I wanted to ask exactly about execution quality analysis, something I, again, also discussed with James Alexander previously. You guys are one of the companies that I know that are leading the way in terms of helping brokers analyze post-trade, kind of what's happening. Do you think this is going to continue despite, the growing adoption of the FX Global Code?
Well, we've signed up to the Global Code. I think it's important to. I think, and the whole company does. A problem with the Global Code is it is voluntary at the moment, and in some ways it does lack teeth. So while we are a very big supporter of that project, and we think that it will grow and become a very important central part of the industry that you can rely on. At the moment, it's difficult to give it too much importance because of the fact that it is voluntary, and there's sort of no mechanism really for ensuring people are following it. So I've just got to be honest about that, and I would say that brokers do need to make sure they have systems themselves to be checking that they're doing the right thing by their own clients and getting the best possible liquidity and best possible execution.
I don't know if you follow sort of what's been happening with the FX Global Code, but just like you said, there's no sort of oversight or enforcement yet. Do you foresee that will come about in some way, shape, or form in the future?
It's one of those things where it needs its own critical mass, because what needs to happen is it needs to be get to the stage where the big investment banks, the big liquidity providers, the big non-bank liquidity providers say, we're not going to deal with you until you sign it. As soon as the industry flips to that, and people start to say, well, if you haven't signed that, you're not going. We can't trust you. It's not there yet, but it will get there. It's gaining momentum, and it will need to be, I think, that type of a flip, that voluntary, sort of flip of the participants rather than a regulatory oversight thing to happen.
Let's see what happens, right?
12 months. Let's give it 12 months and see. We'll see.
We'll see. Another important question regarding market data and just data in general. More and more brokers are going multi-asset. I call it all asset, right? Because there's just, it's a plethora of trading products, and everybody wants more and more and more and more. What do you think are the critical things to understand in terms of data management for brokers, and how does Invast handle data for customers?
Okay, well, the first thing that most brokers in the industry need to understand is that times have changed, and when multi-asset pricing is needed and execution is needed, it is not the old days of OTC where there were no data fees. There are data fees associated with these new instruments, and we've got tens and tens of clients. I won't say exact numbers, but they are all very much now of the opinion that there is no free lunch with multi-asset data, and people are paying and signing up to the licenses to the exchanges. And it has been one of the biggest changes I've seen in the industry in the last couple of years is this acceptance of the need to be transparent about market data usage. CBOE and CME have come to the party. It's really become a big part of the industry, and there's value being created there that is I think going to be recognised more so into the future.
I guess in terms of also with data, what are the current challenges and sort of where do you see the solutions coming?
I think the challenge with data obviously is the amount of data we have and the amount of data we have available across all asset classes. How do we analyse it? How do we store it? How do we recall it? What do we use it for? What we need to make sure is that we have those skill sets in our teams. So we have to hire those people and spend the money on the people that can analyse that and understand that. I don't. That's not my sphere of knowledge. We need to get very smart people, and that's what we've done. We've gone for young people. We've gone for the smartest young people, and we've paid them a lot of money to come straight from university. And we've been doing that for 6 or 7 years. One of our interns is now our CTO.
Really?
That's right. So he's been with us for 8 years, started as an intern in his 3rd year of university, and has worked all his way right up to CTO. So the key is getting the people that understand data, understand what we need to do with it. There is massive opportunity in utilising data in the best possible way. We currently do now in order to help our clients with their execution experience. So we give them feedback about certain flows and what impact that's had on the market and that sort of analysis. That's very important. Like I said, really brokers should probably invest in that knowledge themselves and have that in-house.
Perfect, great. Gavin, last question. The show is just starting. We've got 2 days ahead. What are you most looking forward to in these 2 days?
So the normal thing of catching up with old friends. As I said, I've been coming here for 10 years and I know a lot of the people here and we haven't caught up for a long time. So I am looking forward to that. There is a crypto discussion about to happen upstairs, which I'm very interested in, just sitting at the back and soaking up.
I see. All right. Well, enjoy that. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. It was a pleasure to meet you here at the show, and best of luck.
Thank you very much, Nick. Nice to meet you. Cheers, mate.